people who are participating in these programs that are basically destroying the human life form and the interactive biology of the planet and the humans and all life on the planet need to realize that they are participating in a form of genocide. And whether they just have an insignificant job, it does not matter. Somebody has to say, I am the person who is going to say, no, I will not do this, no matter how much money it might have paid me. I will forfeit that and live with my conscience and support those people, my family, my children, my grandchildren, and the future of all of us in not continuing these destructive programs.
That's correct.
One of the things, the questions that cropped up while you were talking was something that will hit everybody right where they need to understand this, and that's in the pocketbook. Who is paying for these billion, trillion-dollar programs? Because it has to cost that much to be flying these planes and coordinating this effort. What pockets are those coming out of?
Well, I don't think many of the listeners want to hear this, and I don't want to hear it either, but we are paying for it. And hence, those of us who are participating, paying taxes, and supporting this corporate system, we are paying for the destruction.
Well, there's kind of a twisted irony in that we're paying for our own genocide. You know, here, take the money and then kill us. Do whatever you want to with us. You know, we're giving you our power. Well, don't you think it's time for us to take our power back, even if we're not involved directly with this kind of thing? Stop working for the corporations if they're not consciously working for the benefit of humankind, and there are a lot of good ones out there that are working behind the scenes to do that. But we know that there are still bastions of the old guard that think that they are just going to win this battle just out of sheer brute force. And those members of the patriarchy are doomed to failure. That's just the way it is. So how do you drive home the fact that the foreclosures, that the high prices we're paying, it's all tied together with these poisonous toxins that we're ingesting?
Well, it absolutely is. And again, if you look at who benefits from these programs, and, you know, it's interesting because what I uncovered in my latest article wasn't why in the world are they spraying, and I wrote about the aerosol research conference, but you know, really who benefits from weather control? It's a select few people who want this godlike power. So it is tied into the banking system without a doubt. But I think I was talking about something that I had uncovered while researching the article that I was unaware of. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange trades weather derivatives.
Oh. Well, I guess
if you can believe that.
I shouldn't be surprised, but that is even one that I hadn't heard yet. So there's a new one for you, folks. New derivatives being traded. Max Kaiser would be delighted to bring that one out on his website.
Absolutely. So that can be seen. Go to truthmediaproductions.us. I'm not sure if it's up yet. If it's not there, just Google why in the world are they spraying. I have links to different articles that source it. And then there's also disaster, I believe, derivatives. So there are groups and corporations that can benefit by predicting the weather in certain regions, and there are groups that definitely benefit from weather disasters. So is there a stake in this? It looks like there's a pretty solid connection there. It really does.
That does make a lot of sense. I mean, you know, when you follow the trail of money and they're no longer breadcrumbs, it's more like a bakery being dropped on every block. When you follow that trail, it just all leads back to the same place, and it's pretty petty, and it's pretty sad to see grown people acting like foolish little children and taking their little red wagon, and they're not going to share anything. Well, it's just basic selfishness and insecurity and fear. So those of us who are trying to grow up on this planet and learn our lessons, you know, are going to have to stand up and be counted on the side that you mentioned, is the side of life and organics, and will not participate in those things that are destroying it.
Well, absolutely. And you know, it's amazing, Lance. There is some good that comes out of these programs, and through this crisis that we're in, and we're definitely in a crisis, many of us are being awakened and enlightened to spiritual things, and then also to growth. And just researching this and focusing every day for the past 2 years on this issue, I've learned a tremendous amount, and I can apply that wisdom that I've learned to many different things. So it's while these programs are hurting people, they're killing people, they're also, you know, a step in awakening, in this enlightenment that's coming up. So no doubt that those of us who are trying to grow will benefit to some degree. In terms of wisdom, it's sometimes a very difficult road to go down, and I'm not supportive of chemtrail geoengineering programs in any way when I state that. But again, you know, it's up to those of us to learn, to grow, and then really stand up and fight for our planet. It's our planet. It's our Earth. The Earth is our baby, and it is incumbent upon us to stand up for what we love, and that's our planet.
Absolutely. You mentioned a couple of words that I like to hear and focus on occasionally, and that is the global awakening and the enlightenment of individuals and our coming together in kind of a collective consciousness, which some of my guests say has to do with the Mayan calendar and the end of ages and so on and so forth. There's no question, it seems, that we are moving into an accelerated time, and many people are experiencing global acceleration symptoms. So, you know, not only do we have the chemtrails, we got gas to deal with, too, on a higher level. But that aside, hopefully nobody hears our gas. I mean, I'm gassing up now, so, you know, you tell me, but I can be a windbag once in a while. But I do see progress in terms of, like the Tesla car and other electrical cars are actually beginning to come out in spite of the fact that free energy and the rest of it has been suppressed for, 60 to 100 years. You mentioned awakening and enlightenment. What do you see happening as on the spiritual levels? What's happening in terms of our growing beyond this human need for lower experiences?
Well, I think a whole lot. And, for the spirit to come to pass, I believe that it has to be spoken. So that's why I really stress the importance of talking about this and enlightening people. And sometimes those seeds take a month to several years to grow and develop. But through talking about this and not looking at it really in a fearful way, but looking at it in a very effective way, I always encourage people to look at this with a heart of love and with an activist heart. We can grow spiritually. We can see this oppressive system that's developing and usurping the authority of Creator, and then we know and learn how to address this and how to take a stand. So we gain so much wisdom through this. But again, I've heard many times the chemtrail issue it's a gateway issue, and once people learn about this and become awake and aware that there is a system out there based on corporate greed and governmental greed that is very oppressive and is doing some terrible things, and they're doing it so that they can have this godlike power. And when we address that, and once you learn about this issue, as you know, you can't walk outside on a heavy spray day and ignore it. So it's something that people are awakening. God, millions of people have awoken to this issue since we released What in the World Are They Spraying? And it's really incredible in that capacity, because then they begin to question other things and start learning and growing. And truth is a very high frequency, and the frequency of truth will raise our vibration and allow us to grow in many other spiritual ways. So it's just, it's a very in the capacity of learning, it's a very, very good issue. Unfortunately, it comes with a lot of consequences in this realm, but many good things are happening.
Yes, I would agree with you on that one, too. And I haven't been following the news lately, but it would appear that the Wall Street movement is kind of it seems to be coalescing, as far as I can tell. It's bringing people together, and from there, perhaps all of these other issues that so many people are aware of just underneath the radar can break through. And once everybody's on the same page, I don't think there'll be any question about what has to happen. The details might need to be worked out, but the actual reality that needs to occur has to be some kind of coming together and putting aside our differences and our false morality and our illusionary differences in politics, which are designed to divide us, and realize that these are all things that have been created to keep us separate and confused and in chaos. So we are in chaos, that's just the fact. And once we accept the fact that we are in chaos, then it's not so bad because nobody else is creating it, it's just the state that is. So from there, we can move from confusion to clarity and share our experiences with one another, and knowing that each person's experience has validity and is true, if for no other person than for them. But it's amazing how when you see another person's truth, you see your own as well. And once we realize that what we do to ourselves and to another person is being done to everyone, you can't shoot somebody else because there is no other person there. You are that person. You're literally killing your own self. It's a metaphor. So once people grasp the spiritual element behind this, the metaphysical truth of it, then it becomes ludicrous to be having wars and fighting over resources that are in abundance. So that's my 2 cents. Now you can put in a few more pennies. How's that?
I'll throw in a couple pennies. That's a tough act to follow, Lance. But it is bringing people together, and just during my journey, I've met so many wonderful people through this crisis, and many people who I can guarantee you I'll be friends for life, and it is bringing like-minded spiritual people together. Yes. Who are looking at different ways of life. So again, there's no question that we have a crisis on our hands. But through that, we see people that have love in their hearts and people who want to grow coming together. And we're building a very powerful force, not only to combat the chemtrail geoengineering issue, but to address many other issues. And in Hawaii, I've been doing a lot of activism there, specifically on Maui. And we have critical mass now on this issue. There's definitely a consciousness in that community there. So we have, with public support, we have started the Clean Sky Ordinance, which is an ordinance that will ban geoengineering programs on and around the county of Maui. So public support is there, and we also have a sponsor, a political sponsor for this bill. So again, it's in the process of being written. But what we're hoping to do once this passes is bring it to the other islands and then bring it to the state level and use this as a model that can be used all around the U.S. and then all around the world. So we see it coming together. People are starting to address this. We've started a worldwide movement, and we're going to win this one.
Yes, I agree with you on that one, too. And it's largely because of people like you that are willing to get on the front lines and not necessarily do battle, but to empower other people to see the truth. It's that simple. And once you see the truth, it's like the red pill and the blue pill. Once you take that pill, you can't not see. And once you see the truth, then it's simple. You just do whatever is indicated next. I know a lot of people may be wondering, well,